รถมาแต่ไกลเอารถมาทั้งหลายคันนะแล้วก็ลิงก์เทคครับ
I'm at Chang International Circuit and the garages are full of classic cars, and that is pretty unusual. You don't see that very often. Well, you see it once a year, and that's for Classic Revival, now in its 4th year here, and it has grown. That's the first thing to say. This event has just become bigger and more competitive and more going on since it started. But really, when this event rocked up, it really was what the classic car scene was waiting for, was crying out for. It hit the nail on the head and has grown ever since. And now people are building their cars for this event, preparing their cars, and it's getting competitive on track as well. People are really pushing to get the time, and that's a sign that this event is turning into something really special. Anyway, it's a crazy event, hundreds of classic cars, right through to modern as well, a lot of bikes, all that kind of thing, and a real diverse, a lot of things going on. Apart from all the sessions on track, all the time sessions, they have a crazy parade lap which will blow you away if you haven't seen it before. They have drag race, gymkhanas, all sorts of things, a whole show, display cars, you name it, is going on here. So in this video, I'm just going to try and bring you a bit of the atmosphere of Classic Revival 2023. It's Friday, it's just gone 5 o'clock, and I'm at Chang Circuit, and this is where Classic Revival really starts. Yeah, it's a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday, but Friday sees all the cars that come up on transporters, and that's a big chunk of the hundreds and hundreds of cars, all coming up on transporters. You can see loads of transporters there. Behind me you can see a big stack of minis that have just been dropped off. The cars come up on transporters for this event on the Friday, so you get hundreds of cars arriving, and there's an atmosphere here, and this is really where Classic Revival starts. And right next to me as I'm talking, I've got that fantastic P4 which I met a week ago, and I've made a video on it, and if you haven't seen it, just drop down 2 or 3 videos after this one and it'll be there. Now there is no way that is driving the 400 kilometers plus up from Chonburi to come here, so it comes on a transporter, and so many other cars do as well. Now Friday is almost like a day when the action has already started. Nothing on track, but in terms of the atmosphere, the vibe, it's all going down here. So I just want to show you a little bit of Friday, just the action, the unpacking, what's going on. This Carman gear has just been finished in time for Classic Revival, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It's been built by this garage, Look VW. I'm just going to show you inside, because that is absolutely finished. Bare minimalism, and you see here the door cards aren't even in yet, but you can see it's perfect. Everything is new, all the screws, all the fittings brand new or reconditioned. Just show you the engine bay as well, because that looks fantastic. How beautiful is that? And you can see the CNC machined bits on the end here. That is absolutely beautiful. But the cool thing, and what attracted me to the car, is the color. It's got a split color on it, and this is a primer style, and that is the finish red. And I actually had a little pick at it because I wasn't sure whether they'd half wrap the car as people usually do. But no, that is a complete primer effect painted in, and you can see how it's been done absolutely perfectly. And just take a look inside here as well, and that is absolutely immaculate. The fuel tank is brand new, the tank's all brand new. The detail is unbelievable. This hood lock exactly replicates the original, but it's been completely handmade out of stainless steel by these guys. This is one of the best Carman gears I have seen in years. And here's the man who built the car. This fairly stock looking Mark 1 Escort is the car that has travelled the furthest to get to the event. Rukshan, he's a classic car collector in KL. He's got a big chunk of cars down there, things like this, big American cars. He's a trader, he's a collector, and he's driven up, but also he's a guy who drives like crazy everywhere. He's done all the long distance trips, but one of the trips that always stands out for me is he's driven from KL to Sri Lanka. Right next to the car that's come from KL, we got a car that has come from Songkhla. So we have the first ever car to come from Malaysia to this event, and we have the first car to come from Songkhla to this event. And you all know Uncle Blue, Richard's Mark 1 Escort, so won't talk any more about that. But I'm going to get these two guys to introduce themselves because they have done some traveling to get here.
Hi, my name is Rukshan. I am from Malaysia Classic Cars. I've driven here from Kuala Lumpur for a total about almost 2,000 kilometers. We did it in 2.5 days. My choice of ride is a 1974 Ford Escort Mark 1. We are in Malaysia, we're known as My Classic Cars or Malaysia Classic Cars. We are a car trader, importer and events. We also do rentals for classic cars. We're glad to be here, the only Malaysian registered classic car in Buriram. And we're glad to be here and join the Buriram Classic Revival this year. Hope to see you all again. Thank you.
We have driven more than 1,400 kilos up for this event from Hajjai. And it is a fantastic event, which there will be more people coming to this event from the south. You know, Chang International Classic Car event is one of the best in Thailand, and we love to come back again in the future.
Anyone who knows me will know I am an Alphisti, and it makes me really happy that now we have a big Alpha scene growing here in Thailand, and it's really kicking off. There's one guy at the heart of it. He builds cars, a Malaysian guy called Su, and he is just something else. You never meet anyone like this. Anyway, he has got 2 new cars here. He's got 4 cars in total he's built here this weekend. He's got 2 new cars here. This one here, this red one here, and this grey Giulia Super there. Fantastic, amazing tribute replica builds. And I'm going to get him to just introduce them. And I'm just going to enjoy standing in the middle of all these Alfa Romeos, because when you're in Thailand, you get a bit starved, to be honest, for Alfas. But suddenly, in the past couple of years, the scene is growing up and expanding, and they become popular, they become fashionable. And again, look at this Giulietta here. Man, you do not see these very often at all. So let's crack over to Su and get him to introduce these 2 new cars.
Morning, Ed. Good to see you again. We're here again in Buriram, and this time we came with 4 cars. This car here started its restoration 7 years ago, but it never really got done. And about a year ago, we rescued it from the body shop and restarted the work on it. And 2 months ago, my friend, the owner of the car, decided to do a GTAJ version of this Galino car. So the mad rush began. This car was in pieces 2 weeks ago, and we just very quickly put her together for this trip. Okay, and this is the second car. It is a replica Giulia TI Super. As you know, only 500 made in the world, all of them white, but there was 1 grey car and 1 red car. So this is a tribute to the grey car. It took me a total of 3 years. This is her first outing.
And it's not just classic Alfas here. Here we have a contemporary Giulia, which is a really nice contrast to all the classics. And I'll let you guess who that belongs to.
Hi, my name is Sprint. This year we are organizing the Amata Spring Classic de Lagons for the 4th year. So I would like to invite everyone to join our event on the 9th of December.
Hello, welcome to Classic Revival. I am here now, Mint. See you, Mike.
Fiat Puntos are pretty rare to find at a classic car event, and this 5-door here has got a 2-tone colour scheme on it, which I have not seen before on a Punto. The owner's not around, so I can't see what's going on under the bonnet, but you can see he's got a composite bonnet with an intake here as well and painted out. So I think this thing is not very stock at all. And while I am here, there's a Jimny here. This Jimny has definitely been modified. Look at the size of the turbo squeezed into that little engine bay. I haven't seen a Jimny with a turbo that big before in my life.
Hi, my name is Fluke, and this is my Honda SS60. And please, on the December 16, we have our event Tofuya, and please come to join at Bravo BKK Ramanai.
Another highlight of the event is having your photo taken with the Nikon team by the signature Destination of Speed sign. These Nikon guys, they I think have probably the worst job in the place. They are out here in the sun the whole of the 2 days, morning to night, shooting the cars. As well as all the bike groups like the Harley Davidson, like the Vespers and groups like that, there's also a timed session so people with race bikes, people with high performance street bikes can get out and go against the clock. And they all sit in the end garage here. There's a Gymkhana course in the event as well, and this year it's moved right into the back of the paddock, and that means day and evening you hear squealing tyres. This course is pretty short, but you basically rock up and have a go. Usually at a car event in Thailand, I am definitely the only Scouser, and the only Scouser making content for sure, but today it's different. And the other one, his accent is way stronger than mine. So let's meet him.
Hi, yeah, my name's Aaron. I'm from Crosby in Liverpool in England. Currently living in Thailand. Really loving the car scene. It's a mega event.
People build their cars up for events. They rush the final few months, or even the final few weeks or final few days to get the new build ready for an event. But Gavin is taking this one step further. He is finishing this insane sapphire build in the pit lane. They are bonding stuff up, they are wiring stuff in. This car is going to be out on the track this weekend, but it is right to the absolute wire.
Okay, so we were working on this Sierra and we've done a bit of welding on it, and basically 2 months ago it was a shell. And just said to the lads here, Russell and Austin, what are we going to race this year at the Chang Classic? And they said, we want to take the Sierra. I said, well, the Sierra's the Classic's 2 months away, and the Sierra's a bare shell. He said, we can do it. I said, all right then, let's do it. So we've been doing videos every day, we've been pushing ourselves really hard, we've not had a single break, but we did it. We got the Sierra from shell to show in 2 months. But it's not brilliant. We didn't manage to get out, we got a session in, but we've got fuel pressure problems. So I'm just pulling the tank out now, and we're going to put another fuel pump in it. We bought a spare with us. And that's really it for the moment. Squint and it's been YouTube.
190s are really popular to modify and build in Thailand. You get all manner of engine swaps. You open the bonnet of a 190 in Thailand and you don't know what to expect. You also get a lot of these Evo 2 kits. A lot of people dress them up, and clearly this 190 is really track focused. You can see it's got OZ Racing wheels on it. It's got a bonnet pull there. It's got bonnet pins, but what I like is this cooler solution. I have never seen that on a 190 before. It's cut out, coming straight out of the front of the bonnet, laid horizontally. That's quite cool. the action is finished for Saturday on the track, and now we come up to the drag strip for the crazy drag race, where they put all sorts of mad stuff up against each other. We've got a Lotus Exige with a full carbon front end that does not look stock. And you can see that Nissan there, that races in the Toyo series. And it's usually on most of these track days. And then here we have a Beetle with a K24 swap, which is absolutely mental. And this P4 replica with a Subaru flat engine, which I did a video on the other week. And over here we have got a load of minis going on. And also, with a nod to the future, we've got a Tesla in the mix. And the man who put all this craziness together is this man, Kunuk. He throws the entry list for the drag together, and I don't know how he does it. He must drink a lot, I think, and then pick numbers, because we get all sorts of nut stuff going on. And this guy in the red jacket, I have to compete talking against his voice going on the whole time. But he's an absolute terrific MC, so I won't begrudge that at all. Anyway, we are getting ready for the first runs, so I'm going to just go up and have a look at what's going on. This is really the future. It's the first time I've ever seen a Tesla on the drag strip, and it is going up against an EV bike which is gone. Wow, this is quiet. Seriously quiet. But let's look at the times. 11.6 for this distance, 10.7 for the EV bike. And we're back to a Mini putting out a lot of noise. I've seen an awful lot of cars over the years wrapped up in the green and yellow Bangkok taxi, the privately owned taxi colour scheme. I've seen Porsches dressed up in these colours, but I've never seen a Mini. So we got a Mini taxi coming, and this Mini is absolutely bang on. He's even got the taxi sign on the roof, but he's got carbon fibre wheel arch extensions and tyres that are definitely not taxi spec.
We bring 3 Accords
Together.
yes. And we got second.
The drag is over. They're doing the podium now, they're giving out the prizes, but to be honest, this is kind of a fun drag really. I haven't kept up with the times, it's been a really long day. I don't know who's won, I don't know who set the fastest times, but anyway, doing the podium. There's a big concert goes on Saturday night, but I'm giving that a miss. I'm heading back to the hotel, and that's it for Saturday night. This B310 looks really nice with those 70s Japanese street racing arches and this ducktail on the back. And I think these B310s, they look really nice when you modify them. When they're stock on the road, they look quite awkward, and they didn't get a good press as well. The tailgate back to the B-pillar, those windows, those quarter lights, all pretty awkward. But when you modify them, it just completely transforms them, makes them into a pretty cool, pretty dynamic street racing shape. I like this is really nice. Kunhapi, the expert on Mira builds in Thailand, he's converted the classic model into this later shape, putting all the panels on, creating something completely different to that square, chunky shape of the original one to the later one that has more curvature to it. Looks really nice. And I like the offset on the wheels here. They are really bulging out.
Hi Ed, this is 944. The year is 1983, and the engine is 2.7 liters without turbo. I got it for around 5 years and turned it to a track car. Yeah, put on a roll bar and ditch everything for the lightweight purpose.
This is the biggest vehicle in the event. A really old classic Hino, and it's quite interesting. This is an old pharmacy truck, and years and years and years ago they used to have trucks like this, and they would take them to the little villages. They would set up a movie, and then the villagers would come and watch the movie, and then afterwards they would sell them pharmacy products. So this was a style of marketing and selling years and years ago. This is one that definitely highlights for me a very early series Fiat 124. It's just been restored. It looks fantastic. It has such an originality to it. And absolutely, these wheels, absolutely bang on. It's had a few modifications though. At the back end, they've changed the lights. And I think it actually works pretty well. I mean, one problem is getting hold of Fiat 124 lights in Thailand. And even if you go abroad, they're very expensive.
Right, here we are, we've done it. We took an old Shell 2 months ago and decided that we were going to bring it and race it at the Classic.
Hi.
Hello, mate. How's it going? You all right?
Yeah, you shooting something?
Oh, he's just doing a little outro for Ed's video.
I have something for you to put it on the video too, because I have this for you.
Oh, mate, that's brilliant. Well, there you go, recognition of our effort. It's not just me, it's the guys, it's the boys, it's everything. Yeah.
Congratulations.
This is the organisers getting involved with what we do. Great stuff, man, great stuff. Really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to next year.
Yeah, sure.
Next year, we're bringing this back, and we'll be in the 210s.
Brilliant. I look forward to that.
In the 210s, 10 seconds off. And we'll be first.
Just going to step away from the classics for a minute because there's also some very interesting contemporary cars pop into the car park, and this is one of them. VW EV van, the ID Buzz. I have never seen one before in Thailand, so it's interesting to see it here, interesting to take a look at its shape, and man, that is something different and something unique. And again, that's what this event is all about. Bringing in the different, the unique cars. I totally love this completely crazy over-the-top Vios build. The owner built it about 7 or 8 years ago, and he's done a lot of changes and refined it over the years, but it just always makes me smile, always makes me laugh. It's just completely and utterly crazy. And since I've last seen it, there's been a few changes. There's tile wall markings here as well, and it's changed the face slightly. Completely crazy, but if you actually look at the car and you see these composite doors that he's had done for it and the way it's all done, the quality is really, really high, and that's what I like. This is not just something hacked together. The quality is completely amazing on this car. And if I show you inside, I mean, let's try and get inside. It is completely mental what it's done. We've got an extra steering wheel and a screen and all the sound system, so the kids can sit in there. They can play games and pretend to drive. It's really, really cool. It's just absolutely quirky, and I like that a lot. And in fact, the owner here, he is right here adjusting something. And I guess with a car like this, you are adjusting things every now and again. And you can see already we've got photographers zooming on the car because it is something really, really different. And even the back end, man, this car is just completely far out over the top all the way around. And in fact, you can see it's actually built in 2016 for a Toyota Motorsport initiative. Very cool. I absolutely love this. This is the final part of the event now. All the best cars are hand-picked and they go round, do a lap and then form up on the grid. I don't know, dozens and dozens of cars. All the really, really beautiful cars all come out and form up, and you can see them all behind me. Then they have the prize giving and all the people come out for the prize giving, and it's a great atmosphere and the sun's going down so we're not getting burned. It's a really nice sunset and the night comes. They give all the prizes, all the trophies, and there's a big mix of cars to mix in amongst, and it's a great way to bookend the event and wrap it up for this year. I really love the scene in Thailand for K cars that they modify, they race them, they shove big turbos on them, look absolutely fantastic, and these things are absolutely lightweight pocket rockets. There's a real good scene for it here, real hardcore following, and people doing serious modifications to these cars. Here we have Rushkan, the man who's travelled the furthest, Richard, the man who's travelled the second furthest, and this guy has hardly travelled at all, but he's done a bit of work this weekend, so we'll let him off. This guy has travelled the furthest to come to this event by far, so at least he's going home with something. We're at a classic car event, so I shouldn't really do my usual thing, digging into modified cars. But this 86, look at this carbon fibre one piece and this kind of like sweeping out ducktail. That looks pretty good. All polished carbon, looks really nice. So I'll stop there because I do so much modified content. You don't want any more, I don't think, at this event, but that looks good. This B18 is running super low, but it looks really, really good. It works on the car really, really well. I really like what they've done with this car. This is the widest body mini racer you will ever meet. Just look at the width on those rear wheel arches, all carbon fibre. It's got this lightweight plastic panel on the rear and the radiator fans are squeezed in to the whole space. Got a carbon fibre wing and you can see it's been drilled out to save weight. And if I take you right down the car, it's all carbon fibre, even the instrument covers. And the whole front clamshell is carbon fibre as well. Although we've got a bit of accident damage from the weekend, that's had a bump, and the headlight surround isn't round anymore. We've got a lot of tank tape here. But this is an amazing car. It's one of the craziest mini races I have ever seen. And I want to make a video on this car, and I've been wanting to make a video explaining this car for the last couple of years. But the owner keeps like changing the engine, blowing the engine, upgrading the car. Very hard to actually see it when it's running and ready to go. But at some point, I will dig into this car.
Welcome to Chang International Circuit.
This tiny Lamborghini lookalike is absolutely amazing. It's built by Kun Happy, the guy who does all the Mira stuff. You can see he's etched his name out here. And it's got a Perspex style rear wing on it. I really like that touch. Anyway, it's built on a Mira chassis, as you would expect from this guy. He's the Mira go-to for tuning and modifying them. And he's called it a Lambo Kid, and you can see it's been cut out and put on this aluminium dashboard. This is a really cool, fun car, and he built it to take kids out on Children's Day, give them a surprise, give them a laugh. And I really love the details on this. It's got all the Aventador style front end going on it, bonnet pins, everything. That looks absolutely fantastic.
Good night, Ian.
You're off, Jerry.
Off to dinner.
Sorry.
Dinner.
Right, good. Thanks for everything, mate.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
And I'm sure our paths will cross.
I'll see you guys next time.
See you soon, man. I spent a morning with this 330 P4 replica in Bang Sen a couple of weeks ago. In fact, I made a video of it. We took it to the beach, drove it around Bang Sen. Absolutely cool, absolutely amazing car. Convert the owner right there very kindly. Gave me a lot of time to look at it. I absolutely love it. So it's a great way to end this video. I just want to say a big thanks to Kunuk, Kun Plum, the two organisers of Classic Revival. They've done a fantastic job again to put this event on. Great job, great event, great vibe. The whole team, so many people put time and effort in to make this work, and it's really awesome. And that's it. It's nearly 7 o'clock. They're giving out the prizes on the podium now. Kun Jay's voice. I have to fight his voice the whole of the weekend. The MC, but he's a great guy, so I won't complain. Anyway, that's it. Time to head back to Bangkok.